And we are live here at PSGL, the second round of the season on the PlayStation division here. This is F3 you are watching. I'm your host, Tycho Logan, and this is my sidekick, T66. And this is the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps Belgium playing host to the second round of the season. And we have a full grid tonight. You love to see it. And I'm sure it's going to be one exciting night. But we have a lot, T-Dub, to go over about last week. It was a massive shambles in the steward's office, wasn't it?
A bedlam of changes, it has to be said. I mean, the order got completely flipped on its head. The race winner, or the person that was classified race winner in the game, dropping all the way down into 8th place.
Wow. Do you have the current list of incidents on the screen? I've got it on my screen, just in case you haven't.
I do, yes. I've got the unofficial race results and then the finalised race results after that as well.
Right, let's go through them one by one. I'll go through one, then you go through the next. So I'll start with CPI Fraser, who had 7 warnings removed. So he has 2 instead of 9, and that means his 9-second time penalty was removed.
Absolutely crazy stuff there. I'll start at the top, though. Caracelli, who, courtesy of some penalties that we'll speak about in a moment that were actually removed, picked up a 5-second penalty after the race from the stewards, dropping from 1st down into 8th for the Mercedes team. Pit
entry was crossed. We also had a 5-second penalty for Sasha causing collision with Nico, causing him to spin. Rear-ended him, so he gets 2 points as licence and a 5-second time penalty to his time, which meant he finished in 10th place, still getting 1 point, but not very ideal at all.
Absolutely not. Let's talk about Lifebout, though. Crossed the line in 2nd and had a 3-second time penalty, which was for exceeding track limits, removed. So is promoted from what was initially being relegated from 2nd down to 7th. Is now the race winner for last week.
Yes, and congratulations to him for that victory. But yeah, considering Australia, the order being flipped on its head is no surprise. After all, it is an upside-down country. Lifeboat's just about to cross the line to start his flying lap as we speak. We'll talk about Spa-Francorchamps in a minute, but we have to go through this long list of penalties. Who else got a penalty? Brando got a penalty for causing a collision, 3 seconds, added to his time and 2 points on his licence, forcing Jeslar off the track. And also Lorenzino getting a penalty as well for the same incident at turn 12. He's got a 3-second penalty and 2 licence points. There was a decision between Lifeboat and Enzo, as we get a horrible camera angle. It was given a 3 seconds time penalty removed, by the way. It got a double warning, so of course we don't want that. He was also involved in an incident with Enzo, had hard racing, and Enzo got a warning for failing to cooperate with the stewards and using drag and drop footage, which is not allowed within the regulations.
Wow. Well, that's an unconventional one, you could say. I think the last one to go through is Yaki Asaki, who picked up a similar 3-second post-race penalty, dropping from 2nd at the flags down into 5th for Aston Martin.
There's more, believe me. I'm looking at this list now. Angelo got a penalty, a 10-second penalty, 3 licence points for him for causing collision with Giovanni, which caused him wing damage. His wing completely came off, I think. Went into the wall, and it was a 10-second penalty. It must have been a dangerous collision. There was Ian that got a 3-second time penalty for causing a collision with Sasha, forcing him off the track, carrying too much speed. As Lifeboat's across the line at 140.824, very good time from him. And we've got another one as well, 3 seconds for causing a collision with Sem. And I do believe that is it. Yes, that is it. Whew! We got through them all.
Long list.
With a long list. And hopefully it is not like this week, but it is at the fastest, most dangerous, most mythical, actually, mythical is a bit of an understatement, track of them all. It's Spa-Francorchamps, originally public roads, originally much longer. Original length, it says here, 14.982 kilometres. That was in 1921, over 100 years ago.
Crazy.
As Brando Sorry.
We've nearly halved that now, haven't we? Down to just over 7 kilometres.
Yes, 7004, which isn't even the shortest it's been. It was originally 6.96, 6.94, beg your pardon, in 1981. Of course, it was shortened down from its original 14.1 in 1978. They chopped and changed some of the corners, and of course, Eau Rouge in 1921 was much different. It was just a right-hander corner, and now it is the famous corner we know it as today. That was changed in 1939, just on the brush of the Second World War. And 1978 was reduced, of course, down from pretty much more than half, 14.1 to just under 7, 6.947, which I think was for the better because this track was on public roads. It was extremely dangerous and would never pass standards today.
Absolutely not. And to be fair, it's still pretty dangerous today. I also think we had that change to the bus stop that came at the end of 2004, I believe it was. That was the last time we ran that configuration of circuit, and it's pretty much since then been as we all know it, really.
Actually, bus stop was chopped and changed over the years. They changed the pit entry a few years before the change in 2004. The entry into bus stop was made more to the right, and then in 2007 it was completely changed from a double chicane to a double hairpin, and that's why it didn't host the 2006 Grand Prix because of renovation works. So there were only 18 races, not 19, but now it's been here to stay. Of course, they have changed. They changed the pit entry. It used to be after La Source, now it's before La Source. I believe that was when they left for Zolder and then they came back to Spa-Francorchamps when it was shortened.
Remember that, going to Zolder. What a throwback that is. We should have a little mention, though, about some of the goings-on the track, and it has already caught out a couple of drivers. Both Red Bulls returning to the pits pretty much straight away, and Spicer in one of the McLarens actually dropped it going through Pouhon.
He did. Spicer dropped it through Pouhon, so he has no time right now. Spicer, of course, pretty prevalent name in some of the lesser known leagues in the realm of Formula One online sim racing here on PlayStation, especially. Lifeboat's back on the track. They did come out pretty early. I thought it was going to rain, but it's not. You can see them coming down the Hemel Strait towards Lécon, which you can see parts of the old track still there, somewhat noticeable. And of course, Lewis Hamilton had an infamous crash with Kamui Kobayashi there one year and went out of the race as a result.
Got to remember 2022 as well. The same corner going into Lécon, turning in on Fernando Alonso and ending up flying into the air.
Only knows how to start it first. And so does Max Verstappen. Anyway, moving on. We are getting started with our second lap here around this legendary circuit. It is, I think, Lifeboat. No, it's not Lifeboat that has the lead. We have a full grid tonight, I should mention. I do believe that is Freezer in the lead. That is the CPI Freezer. Of course, the CPI team had something going on recently. We'll just say that. If you go on Twitter, and that's AlphaTauri, not Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. That is too early. It is not June yet. Wait for June until it becomes actually a much better looking car. I like the AlphaTauri livery, but this is going to be a much better livery. But I'm just going to call them RB Junior now, because that's basically what it has become. Well, it always was, and I was always kind of against the idea of having two teams in the one sport, and they're not trying as hard as the other one. What's the point of competing in Formula One? That's what the sport needs.
Well, that's what old Zach Brown's been saying. He's been pushing that argument quite strongly, but yeah.
I can't disagree with him.
They've got the Toro Rosso livery, so I feel like that should have been what we went for.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't mind if a sponsor sponsors two teams, but when they're almost identical, that's when it's a problem. Like, I don't mind if Red Bull sponsor two teams. I don't mind if Ferrari have engines in the Williams not the Williams, the Sauber. I don't mind if Mercedes are plastered on the Williams. That's totally fine. I mean, they used to have it on the Renault all the time.
It's a tough one to call, isn't it? Because you can see both sides of the argument, but I think it's for a debate much higher up than we sit in the F1 food chain.
Yep. The top time right now is 140.745. 2 thousandths behind is Lawrence. We have been waffling on a bit, and I think we should move on to this. Look at that, going through our Rouge at full speed ahead, coming down to, but here comes Sebastian Vettel straight, Himmel straight. Lawrence, of course, was in action last night for... Actually, was he in action? I can't remember, but I do know he was in the Competitive Speed Series, which is one of our lesson divisions. You can listen to me every Sunday night stream down the mic with Byron Hale, who's currently doing F2, or is he? At least finished now, because I know he was promoted. I miss you, Byron, come back. Of course, our very own social media manager, Byron Hale, hello to you. If you're watching right now, coming through Pujon now, Lawrencinho, after coming out of no name, because I should mention this is the outdated scan. There's no stands at Rouge, that's Radion actually. And the no name is a new time to the top 140.59 from Azim. Where did that come from? Immediately blitzed by Brando in a 140.526. Ian going at third as well, so Lawrencinho already relegated down to fourth, 1/10 behind the top 3. Now make it fifth, sixth, because he's just completely going to be invalidated anyway, so it's all over for him on this run at least. I should mention, take note of who's on the track as well coming up to the line.
Livebout did actually improve a little bit as well in that Haas. Went briefly up into third place just ahead of his teammate Owen, but only improved by 100th of a second, so has subsequently been shuffled down into 8th place and could be moved down a little bit further with the likes of Rosso Caracelli, who's up by a 10th through the first couple of sectors.
Got Nardo, who's yet to set a time. Both Red Bulls yet to set a time. That's not normal. Well, it was in 2005, I'll give you that. But here they come to the line, it's 17th for Nardo. Not the best showing in all honesty. We're down a second, just under a second behind.
Field spread is, of course, slightly larger than it was last week due to this being quite a bit longer a circuit. But if you look at, the top 5 covered by just under 0.2 of a second, that's still pretty close. Shows how competitive this division really is on what is the longest circuit on the calendar.
Yes, indeed, of course. Probably the most legendary track in the calendar, in all honesty. I've loved this track ever since I started watching Formula One. It is everything thrown at you. You've got legendary corners like the Source, like Calm, Puon, Bus Stop, Our Rouge and Radion, obviously, even though it's been chopped and changed over the years. I think 1994, Our Rouge was replaced by a straight-up chicane.
It was, yeah.
In the wake of Senna's loss.
Yeah, and Roland Ratzenberger, of course.
Oh yes, I cannot forget Roland Rat. That's what they called him, Roland Rat, because of his relations, because of his relativity to the character that is Roland Ratzenberger. We continue on as, oh dear, Brando's double stack behind Angelo. Not a good sight.
Well, we've got just under 4 minutes to go now, so everyone should get a third flying lap in if they so choose to come out on a brand new set of tyres.
No.
Strategy's going to be key.
Spicer's also double stacked.
Oh dear, the McLaren boys have got it all wrong.
They've all got it all wrong. Oh no, don't tell me they're going to have another... Oh no, okay, they're not. They're not going to have a double stack. Actually, they might, let me check. No, they're not, because Zane's about to come out. Zane, the only driver yet to set a time. Of course, and he needs to get on the board, because if he doesn't, he's going to be stuck there in bottom of the barrel. Only 9 viewers watching. Where have you gone? Do you just hate Scottish accents? If you do, I am sorry, but I can't help it. I'm not going to go... Well, I was going to say another guy who has a different accent, but besides being Scottish, but if I mention I'd probably get cancelled. Considering what he did a few years ago, it depends, but, I mean, I try to be cautious here. Brando and Angelo and Azam coming out at the exact same time. So hopefully they keep it apart for the remainder of this section, because you don't want to go. This is what I was talking about. See, this is why we complain. So I guess we're going to be restarting. Oh, great! Gives me time to eat my dinner. Yes, I'm still having my dinner.
First over the line is going to be the AlphaTauri of Kaya, currently down in 17th only, just 9/10 off the pace. Got to find a big improvement. Went a little bit deep into La Source, though, so it's going to be compromised on the exit on the run up to that famous Eau Rouge, and that's Radion actually section, and onto the Kemmel Straight. We'll have to see what the delta time is going through the first sector. Could get caught up by a little bit of traffic, though. That is the disadvantage of coming out so early in the session. You are going to meet a lot of cars on their outlap as they trundle round to try and find the track space. Could get held up straight away into Les Combes. No, we go over the sector split. Found a 10th of a second. It's probably not enough at this stage.
Yeah, probably not enough at all. And he's going to have, I believe that's Caracelli coming up too as well, but he gets passed through. And there's going to be, I think that's an Alpine or Williams. Alpine, it looks like, up there as well, but he does let him through. And through to Pouron he goes. And I'm not sure if it's a he or she, actually, because I knew a lady named Kaya. So, in all honesty, but we're just going to assume as he. Kaya coming through to what I believe that is Blanchiment. Oh, he's gone wide. That'll be an invalidation.
That is a shame. Really committed through Stabilo, but fell off the racetrack, and that's probably going to be 17th at best. You'd imagine the fuel and the tyres are not going to last for another lap. So that is a disappointing start for one of the AlphaTauris. We'll have to see how much Fraser can improve by as he is coming up towards the Fanier chicane, just a few seconds back.
Few seconds back. I've also got taps on Lorenzino, who's just started his laps, and Kaya's just obviously given up the ghost. Nothing you can do. It's his last lap. There's 30 seconds to go, and that's the end of his session. Azam has just crossed the line. Ian is also coming through Les Combes. Spicer coming through Eau Rouge and Radion. So is Angelo. Lorenzino down at, that is Bruzel. I forgot the name of the corner exactly, but it is one of the earlier corners. Coleman has already invalidated the last thing he wants to do. Caracelli coming down to Eau Rouge and Radion. Anything else you can see? Oh, Ian's
improvement. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Ian has invalidated. That's the end of his chances.
Disastrous. There was a little improvement for Fraser, up from 13th into 10th, and Brando, currently on provisional pole, only just got over the line with a couple of seconds to spare.
Yes, he did. Lifeboat has set a time best of 5th, 1:47.02. Should be seeing other drivers like, I do believe that's, who is crossing the line right now? That was the Williams of Tycho, goes up to 15th, 1:41.132. Zane, 16th, 1:41.213, although it says 2:14 for some reason. Now it's 2:13 back again. Tiago down in dead last and will stay there. Now Nico coming across the line. What's going to be for him? Up to 7th. Now Spicer's in the gravel. Spicer is in the gravel, and that will be the end of his chances. Trying not to block the laps. Good patience from him, with grace. But it is over for him. Ian crossing the line, but he is invalidated. Adam coming to the line. Can he get pole position? No, he cannot. He cannot improve on his time. What about Spicer is already... No one is improving their time. Caracelli's coming up, but he's not improving fast enough. He needs a miracle of a last sector if he is to get pole position, and he's not. He's stuck in 10th. I think that's it. Other than Fraser... No, he's invalidated. So Brando is going to get pole position no matter what, and he doesn't improve anyway. It doesn't matter. He is on pole position in that Ferrari.
Couple of people really struggling in the final sector. Thiago made a complete mess of the bus stop chicane, took way too much curb on the second part of it, and then ran out wide and invalidated the lap. Lost a load of time anyway, so the invalidation didn't lose too much. But look at how many people are on a 140.7. What's that? 7 drivers in that little club. Incredible stuff. And the two Aston Martins with Fraser in between them, separated by 3 milliseconds.
Wow, 3 milliseconds the difference. But it is pole position for Brando. Unfortunately, there was a penalty awarded, so we will have to restart for an unfair. Of course, we don't want that happening. Gap 64 thousandths between him and Azam, who are also in the third row. Lardino and Ian in the second. Spicer and Lifebout on the third row. Stem and Nico on the fourth. Angelo and Caracelli on the fifth. Ignore that penalty. Sixth row, starting up the bottom 10 is Coleman, then Jeslar, got Raphael and Fraser behind them, then Luca Rapasso and Taiko, Zane, Kaya, and finally Nardo and Tiago, the only driver outside of the 1 second threshold.
Amazing. Top 15 covered by 0.3 of a second. Top 9 covered by 0.2. Absolute madness. On a track that is as long as this.
Margins.
To have all of these guys so close together is crazy. It is incredible. Can't get my words out. It's so good.
Indeed. Right.
Restart time, I think.
Yeah, the great reset.
Yeah, everybody retiring. What it does do, though, is it gives us a chance to reflect on what went on. And it was a super Scuderia out in front. Brando didn't even need that final flying lap to take pole position. And it was 0.06 of a second. That's probably one of the bigger gaps between the drivers. And
Yes,
we saw it
indeed.
last week as well, in fact.
Yes, we
Pole to
did
second
see it
place was
last
one of the
week.
biggest margins.
Trying to find it. Yeah, it was about 6 per second, 0.167.
So, who are you fancying? Who you think's looking good?
I'd love to see Fraser make his way up the grid he somewhat did. I say somewhat because of course he had a lot of penalties, but he went from what was it? I believe it was 11th to 2nd. We got Raphael's not here tonight, is he?
Raphael is. I was just going to point this out. We have a few drivers that were in and around the top 5 in the last week's race, struggling a little bit. Raphael and Jeslar down in 12th and 13th.
Yeah, not what they would have liked, but then again, goes to show consistency counts here. As we just wait for everyone to get back in. We do apologise if we're on the main menu because we have to reset due to a problem with the game, because this game, it's quite inconsistent with all due respect. It's already 2-1 at West Ham United versus Brentford. Coventry City are 3-0 up against Maidstone. I was expected though. Girona playing Rayo Vallecano. Quite interesting. Rayo Vallecano just had a new manager. They just drew against Real Madrid. Girona looking to try and bounce back from their shortcomings previously and try and keep themselves in the race of the Champions League. I know why am I giving football updates? Because I can, and it passes the time. A lot of people here like football. Right?
It is a pretty popular activity.
We just got an invite. Thank you very much, Mr. T. Dub.
No problemo.
You got any fun stories to talk about?
Oh, you've put me on the spot a little bit there.
Yeah,
What? Maybe not fun stories. Should we talk about Spa though? The some historical races that we can remember. 2012 stands out for me. Obviously, we had the infamous pile up at La Source. We had Jenson Button absolutely dominating that entire weekend for McLaren qualified. I think it was 7/10 clear of everybody else. Sebastian Vettel could come back from 11th on the grid, or 10th maybe, I believe it was, up to 2nd. And we had that brilliant overtake from Kimi Raikkonen on Michael Schumacher through a ruse. That's a really... that was an outstanding race, I have to say.
yes, indeed. My remembrance was Charles Leclerc's first victory, but of course that was overshadowed by the late great Antoine Hubers losing his life in the F2 race.
Hugely
Could have been
emotional.
a future Formula One racing driver for Alpine, or Renault as it was known back then. Of course, being French, he won in Paul Ricard, he won in Monaco. You know, he could have been a future hero for France, but unfortunately, fate said otherwise.
Should we even mention 2021? That fast.
Yeah, that was a great race. It was a great race. I remember 2021. It was a great race. George Russell getting a podium.
The one
Of course.
race.
Oh, one lap. I think Latifi got a point, did he?
I believe Mazepin got the fastest lap.
Oh yeah, Mazepin was a brilliant driver that year. Shame he only lasted one season. One season. All because someone lost his mind. Oh god, I almost went... I stayed in spectator mode. Ladies and gentlemen, the life of a commentator on esports. Not everything goes swimmingly as people think.
It is live. And we're live. Looking forward to this though. If it's anything like last week and the gaps in qualifying say it probably should be as close, this could be a barnstormer in the Ardennes forest. We are getting ready to go.
I almost said Styrian Mountains and then realised it's the wrong car. Wrong car, wrong country.
So just a reminder for everyone, Angelo will be starting from 9th. That 5-place grid penalty that was unfairly applied during the session will be taken away, so it won't be 14th. It will still be 9th place for the second Ferrari.
Indeed.
One of only 3 teams, actually there's a lot of teams, 4 teams in fact, with both cars inside the top 10. The 2 Mercedes, the 2 Ferraris, the 2 Hasses and the 2 Sauber cars. The only others, McLaren and Alpine. No Aston Martin, no Red Bull, no Williams or AlphaTauri.
Yes, indeed. So we're just waiting for everyone to get ready. Hopefully it doesn't take too long.
Should we get the $1 million question out of the way? Who are you predicting as the winner for the Belgian Grand Prix? It's quite the toss-up.
Can I phone a friend?
It
He
depends.
said it was a $1 million
to.
question. This is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, if you're phoning someone from the future, that's probably cheating in my book.
But it's impossible.
Wow, is it though?
I don't know. Anyway, let's get ready to rock and roll. I can't say rumble because I get sued by some guy in a suit. He's probably born in one. Guy that does the boxing. Anyway, should be ready to go anytime soon. If you are watching, welcome. This is PlayStation F3, hosted by me, Attacker Logan, and him, T-Dub06.
And it is, of course, a perfect time to shout out some of the sponsors, isn't it? We can
Oh,
first
yes!
off, GT Omega. If you use code PSGL at checkout, that will give you a 5% discount. And if you go to SRC Sim Racing Centre, use the same code, that will be 10% off services.
Yeah, please use those codes PSGL. And I've got a personal sponsor here. I am sponsoring this race by providing my voice, and so is T-Dub himself. So there you go. We just have to keep Connor and Jess pleased. That's all we've got to do here. We're just waiting for everyone to get their setups ready, of course. Very important to get your setup, unless if you want to pretty much race with a naked setup, that's up to you. But knowing these guys are fighting for, well, not their lives, but fighting for their careers, even though they're not getting paid, I'd suggest you use a well-tuned, fine-tuned setup for this fantastic 7-kilometre racetrack dating back over a century of history and tradition. Of course, being landmark racetrack. Here we go. We have 5 lights ahead of the drivers. And they're underway, and it's a jump start already from Kaya. Very embarrassing for him as he heads to the first corner. It's Brandel that leads. He got the advantage in the first corner. When you're starting pole position, they're on the inside. But that means Azem is going to have a run. He's actually ahead of the Ferrari and is in to the lead of this race. And Ian just close behind, fighting with Lawrentinho coming through Rouge, and that's Radion actually. We've got Ian coming for moving Brandel. Brandel is having a shocking start. He's at risk of losing second place now. But he's going to try and go on the inside and try and make up for it, but he's not going to do it. And he's going to have a wide line out of Lake Com, and he loses second place. And he's going to lose third at this rate if Lawrentinho can get the move, but he can't do it.
Yeah, terrible start. The guys around the Ferrari using the red striped soft tyres to pass the scarlet red Ferrari off the line down into third. It's actually 2 drive-through penalties off the line. Kea and Zane picking them up for both jump starting.
Oh dear. Didn't tell me about Zane. I just singled out Kaya because he appeared on the screen. Sam is in 6th place, and Spicer has lost the position to Nico. Nico getting through into 7th. Fraser now getting up to 9th, passing last week's false race winner, Caracelli, because that's what it was before the penalties were applied. Back further, we've got Tiago and Zane fighting for what is 18th position. Long way to go from there. Ian now is going for the lead of the race on Azam. Both ET8 drivers who say side by side, but Azam breaks later, and Kitani bumped into the back of Ian. Now, how has that affected his wing? Hopefully not too much as they cross the line to begin the second of 22 laps. That is just 22, just because of the length of this track. It is, I believe, 152.5. divided by the length of the track in kilometres, rounded up to the next lap. Got to complete 152.5 kilometres of the track. Now Ewan is going to try and get into the lead, and he will. I think this is an inside job from the ET8 drivers to try and keep Brando at bay, but he's just right there behind him, T-Dub.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of this team game using the DRS to keep you within the train in front of you. It's going to be so critical for the majority of this Grand Prix. If you fall out of that DRS train, your race is going to be absolutely done, barring any safety cars, of course. But yeah, they seem to be working together a little bit. Nice to know that there wasn't any damage for the Haas after that little love tap going into the bus stop chicane.
Luca Rapasso makes a mistake at Bruzel and loses the position to Angelo, who's now in 12th place, and he's on soft tyres as well, so he's going to have another chance to get by, surely. Yeah, quite the mix you can see on the screen. Mixed bag. Mostly people on soft. We've got mediums and hards there down the back as well. They're going to be playing conservative. I don't blame them. Of course, these softs are known to be running out of steam quite early on as we approach the end of the second lap. And after this lap, DRS will be enabled, and this will be the last season you will see DRS enabled on lap 3, starting from F124 to go in line with the new rules for this season of Formula 1, starting on Saturday, not Sunday, will be lap 2 that DRS will be activated, not 3. Quite unusual, but that's how they went for it, and not during the first lap at all, it seems. But here we go. Ian crossing the line as your leader. He loses the fastest lap almost immediately, coming through 3.5 tenths ahead of his team, well, pseudo teammate, I should say, Azam. Teammate from another team, ET8, there's Clue. That's the 3-digit initial of the team name. And now Azam is going to just swap through, and I think he's going to get a move into the lead. And he is indeed. Into the lead he goes.
easy as you like.
Easy as you like indeed. Oh, he's went a little wide there. That won't help his chances. Now Ewan's going to be right closer to him again. And so will Brando. Further back, Spicer has lost up. In fact, he's went off at Lake Om. And his car is completely ghosted after that incident. It's just getting worse for Spicer.
Yeah, got caught up in a bit of a scrap with not only his teammate, but the two Aston Martins as well. They're fighting really hard over 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th. And unfortunately just took a little bit too much curb through the Lake Om section and dropped it and fell and found himself in the grass.
Indeed. Meanwhile, Carcelli in ninth place, and he sees Fraser go off the grass there. That will be a warning for sure. He's went off the track, and he's 3 strikes, and you're out. Get a 3-second penalty for that.
Who are the big losers early on then? We can see that Lorenzino has dropped 4 places in that Sauber car. Further down, obviously, Spicer losing 13. The big movers in the positive direction, it's got to be Fraser. You mentioned it before the race. You wanted to see what Fraser can do. Up 6 places from 14th on the grid into 8th.
He's going for 7 here on Lorenzino, who's already lost 4, might be 5. So, big contrast in this part of the little pecking order. As you can see, Nico getting past for 5th place here. It seems he tried to get it, but he is unsuccessful in doing so. And Spicer's given up the ghost. He's in the pit and out of the race. And now I think Azam and Ian are going to swap around again. Tactical probably. Most likely. And now Brando, though, he's got to be careful of Brando behind, trying to get close up as the 2 Alfa Romeos are, well, I say Alfa Romeos Sauber now, because it's not Alfa Romeo anymore, it seems. And 6th and 7th trying to get up to 7 once again. Brando sticking around, trying to spoil the ET8 party. Back down further, they all seem to come through swimmingly. Fraser trying to get through up into 7th position gained. And now Brando's right up close to Azam, isn't he, T-Dub?
Absolutely, almost pushing him through Puon, but got another McLaren off, and it's a virtual safety car disaster for the Papaya outfit, and one retiring in the pits, one pitching it into the barrier going through Puon. But yeah, that cut short their afternoon or evening, depending on where you are.
What is going on here? What is going on between the Williams? I have absolutely no clue. It just looks like Luca Rapassa got held up by the Williams. I don't know what is going on here. It is a virtual safety car, right? It still says it on my screen. Yeah, it's still a virtual safety car.
Dot on the minimap.
So, if you saw it, I'm sure the viewers at home saw it, Luca Rapassa saw the 2 Williams stop in front of him. I don't know what it was for, but they just stopped to a dead stop and Luca went past them. I had absolutely no idea what happened. But it's just a virtual safety car, no upgrades to a full safety car, so there's no massive changes. Back on now. Virtual safety car over, and now looks like Azam's got the better of it, but he's going to try and, I think, get back into the first place position. Yeah, it's going to be easy pickings for and they have swapped position many times. He now has to be careful of Brando. He wants that first position back, and he's going to try and go for it. Are we going 3 wide? Almost! But Brando's trying to get it, and he won't get it. He does get in position and breaks the 88 1-2. And now he'll be stuck battling the 88 sandwich as we've got penalties going round, and that's not good for Lorenzino. He's lost a bunch of positions again. He might lose another 2 here. He has. This is unbelievable from Lorenzino. The last thing he wanted, he's now down 8 positions from 3rd where he started.
Those hard tyres really not working. Tried standing up the inside into No Name to get 10th place back from the Ferrari in front, but yeah, just couldn't quite manage to do it. Poor strategy call, you would say. It'll be interesting to see what tyres Lorenzino puts on later on in the Grand Prix, though, because has got that flexibility to go soft or medium.
Indeed he does. That's the great thing if you have the hards. Although you go in the slowest compound, you're also leaving the 2 fastest ones available.
And I think Angelo potentially looking like maybe fancying getting up into 9th place after Jezza. I wonder how long it will be before the mediums start to be quicker than these soft tyres. I don't think we're too far away from that crossover point, and you can probably see it out in front because Brando still sticking with Azem and managing to get ahead of that first Haas of Owen, who's now going to deal with the secondary Haas behind as well.
And guess what? Lifeboat, another ET8 driver, has joined the fray. He is right behind his actual teammate, Ian. And Brando is right up there, and I think these medium tires are starting to crop up to the top. And there it is, Brando back in the lead where he started. Caracelli has passed Fraser for 6th. And Fraser will be relegated down to 7th, and further back, that's Angelo and Jesler. Jesler had a slight Fruely Commons starting to struggle, and now down to 10th place. The two Williams drivers are letting each other through. That is probably tactical, knowing you want to gain time by doing that. Brando still in the lead once again now.
Interesting to note what happened there with Jesler. Armful of opposite lock going through Lecon probably tells you the state of those red striped soft tyres. Probably starting to think about maybe when they're going to be coming in for a pit stop. I would imagine maybe around lap 9 you'd be thinking on those soft tyres. It could even be earlier if they're really struggling with the degradation.
Could indeed. Should let you know if you are watching right now. We've got PSF1 also on, which is what everyone should be watching in my opinion, even though I'm here. And we've also got on Wednesday another fantastic round of PCF1, the elite division as I call it. Go check out Jarno Otmir and the gang and let them cook. As we see the drivers here cooking a storm, we should say, weathering a storm, as they come towards La Source for the 7th time tonight! What's happened there? Is that Ewan tagging Azem? A bit cheeky, and that's costing them valuable time. Now he's 7 tenths down on Brando, and I'm not sure if that was on his own accord, or if that was Ewan from behind, but that's cost him a lot of time. He's going to get something for this DRS, but it's not going to be much, in all honesty, I have to tell you that.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch it. I was watching Angelo continue to charge through the field, getting up into 8th place past Nico, and Jesler continuing to tumble, drops behind the second Sauber of Lorenzino trying to recover. But yeah, has actually dropped outside of that 1 second window. So we could see Brando start to waltz off into the distance with that delta that's built up now.
Yeah, now it's 1.25 seconds, and now the soft tyre runners are going to be questioning whether it is time to go in and box. The ET8 driver 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and 5th behind him, Sem licking his lips as well. So is Caracelli. Caracelli's got some good pace in now. Fraser starting to fall by the wayside. So is Nico and Jesler. Jesler having, I have to say, not the best of sessions right now, currently out of the points. But he's still sticking in there. And now Azem coming through. Is he going to be the catapult? Is he going to be the guinea pig when it comes to pitting? Let's find out. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. That's Luca Rapace. No, it's not Blanchimont. That is Paul Frere. Paul Frere, that corner is not Blanchimont. Blanchimont's the one after it. I do apologise. I think I said that earlier. But that is Luca Rapace now down even further from the field.
Interesting looking incident. No visible damage that we can see, and I don't think the Aston Martin will. No, a late dive into the pits for car number 9, and in we go. Probably a set of hard tyres to the end, you would imagine, and a bit of a lock-up into the pit lane as well.
So Ian is going to go through on Azem again, probably to try and close the gap to Brando. And now in 2nd place, meanwhile, Caracelli's up to 5th, and Fraser's down to 8th. Yeah, I think these soft tyres are coming deader and deader by the lap.
Absolutely. Jesler picks up a 3-second penalty as well. Those soft tyres really starting to struggle. We've got to watch out to see how quickly Caracelli can fight through these soft runners. The ET8 guys might be working together to keep that Mercedes behind, but they're going to have Angelo steaming up behind them as well in the 2nd Ferrari.
Yes, indeed they are. So, coming through, once again, Brando with the lead, ahead of Ewan and Azem. Lifeboat and Caracelli there as well. Stem and Angelo coming up behind. Further down, 10 seconds behind the majority of the field, are the two Williams, Tico and Tiago. similarly, very similar names, have been swapping positions down the Kemmel Straight. I assume that is tactical so they can gain some positions continuously, gain some time. Lifeboat's right behind Azam, trying to go for the podium spots here, coming to the bus stop. And they're just close behind now. What's Ewan going to do? He's not going to pit, not yet. It doesn't seem like anyone is wanting to pit at all. They think that these soft tyres are still going to be okay. Luca Rapasa has got another penalty. He's just be the first driver to pit on, except for Kaya, when his first lap. He's one of the first drivers to pit. I do believe that was for his damage, though. So, in terms of the top, it doesn't look like any change of position as we start to see the drivers fighting position once again, and Caracelli's going to try and get involved with that. Look at that, 3 wide, all ETH drivers as well. Maybe that's tactical to get for Caracelli, but Caracelli is going to try and get through on Ewan into the car. No, that's Ewan round.
That was never going to work. We were almost 4 wide, weren't we, going down the Kemmel Straight and into Les Combes, and it's the Haas of Owen that comes off worst. It was a little bit like a war there with the Haas's versus the 2 Mercedes cars, but yeah, Owen dropping all the way down into 13th will probably come into the pits at the end of this lap as well to get the most advantage you can gain from an undercut with those ruined rear tyres, you would imagine.
Yes, indeed. Caracelli now up into 4th. He's got his actual teammate, Azam, right ahead of him. And you've also got Lifeboat ahead 2 seconds down. Brando is just making this look easy. That lady lost that. He didn't lose it. He was just waiting for the softs to blow. And it's just not been going well for the soft tyre runners. They're starting to lose a lot of ground. I'm sure Ewan's going to be coming into the pits anytime soon to get a new set of tyres. But what's Lifeboat going to do here now in 2nd place? Coming towards the bus stop. Is he going to box? He is going to box, and so is Azam. And that means, so Sam, it looks like most of the soft tyre runners, except Nico, quite interestingly, is not pitting on the softs and staying out. And now the top 3 all on medium tyres. They will have to pit later. This is their time to try and build a big enough gap to stay clear of those already pitting.
Caracelli got a little bit caught short by the drivers coming into the pits, going through the bus stop, nearly ploughed into the back of his teammate as Azam pulled into the box.
That was a close call there. And so is Lifeboat and Azam now. Their job is to get up the order as fast as possible, and probably going to be a bit of a little temporary truce between the 2 drivers, trying to get up the order before the truce is off and they keep fighting for that victory. So here we go. They are underway through the Kemmel Straight, through Les Combes, and they've got a long, long way to go. We've got 13 laps here at Spa-Francorchamps left.
Jesla has just overtaken Nico down into Les Combes a few corners ago, up into 4th place. These are the 2 drivers that stayed out on the soft tyres. You'd expect they will be coming into the pits at the end of this lap because those tyres are going to be pretty average at this stage.
Yes, they are, and I presume they stayed out because they didn't want to double stack and affect their own race as they come through. Paul Frere once again, a bit of a lock-up, and Azam's got a penalty! That is not what you want, Azam. That is going to be a black mark to his name, and unless it was removed like last week, that chance it probably will be this time. But that is to his name, and that's going to affect his final result. Raphael, I haven't said much about. We talked about him storming through the field in the last laps of last week, getting 3rd place. Was fighting Dardle, but he's now pit, and so has Nico. Chesler staying out though.
I want to give a shout out to Sem. Made a bold but absolutely brilliant overtake on the Williams of Tiago going through Blanchimont. It was fully committed, just sent it up the inside, just forced his car alongside the Williams and pulled past. Brilliant stuff on those brand new tyres compared to the very old mediums of the Williams, who I think is going to get swallowed up by not only Fraser but Lorenzini as well.
Sorry, I had to cut off because Angelo has made the move on Caracelli and is now in 2nd place. So it's now a TRT 1-2-4 now. And a bit of a slide from Angelo coming out of Les Combes, but he does get through. And Azam and Lifeboat swap positions, I presume, once again for strategic purposes. as there's a battle for what's currently ninth between Lorenzino, Fraser and Tiago. Lorenzino looking to get back up the order. Tiago's starting to fall back, but I do believe that's because he's on a much older set of tyres. These drivers will just pit.
Jeslar has done half the race on the soft tyres.
Great.
Probably is going to join way back. I question this strategy call. Not going to have that big a tyre offset if you put on the mediums now. So, yeah, I don't think this has been the best strategy call. We'll have to see what the Alpine driver can muster up in the second half of the race. As there you go. Owen, when it rains, it pours. That's a 3-second penalty.
And that is a 3-second penalty for Owen. It just gets worse for that driver. Tiago also getting on the bad books for his infringements. Caracelli starting to come close, trying to get back that second place. I do believe people are leaving. I'll check why. Must be an issue on my end, perhaps. But now, it's going to be fighting for a second position again. He nearly goes in the back of him. Atlas Source going on.
I've seen that a couple of times from Caracelli, just drifting effectively through La Source, braking very late and almost clattering into the back of the driver in front. It's going to be interesting to see which of these drivers blinks first. Who's going to make the decision to come in for what I presume is the soft tyres? As here we go, swapping positions once again, and it is now Ferrari-Mercedes. Ferrari-Mercedes is Caracelli back up into second place.
He is indeed. And now Lifeboat going for fourth place once again. This is probably tactical from... I actually have to say, they're starting to get very close to Brando, Caracelli and Angelo. This is going to be one clash of strategies once they get into the pits and out again, the top three. I do believe Jeslar's finally pit, though.
They are going to be behind. I'm just looking for a gap, maybe between Fraser and Tiago, as Rafael picks up a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. So the top three are going to have some work to do when they come out of the pits, but they are going to be on fresher and most likely softer tyres.
Yes, indeed. 15 viewers watching right now. Hello to you all. If you are watching, welcome. You're tuned in at the right time because we're just getting through the first batch of pit stops, the only batch of pit stops it seems, as Tiago and Nico are fighting for a ninth. And they're right close to each other. We don't want to see crash these two, but they are going to come through, fighting. And oh, that's an incident there. Jeslar has crashed out of a safety car. Safety car. Now this might save Brando. 10 seconds. Oh no,
his teammates pulled into the pits.
Brando's missed the pit. It came out after he crossed the pit entry. So this is bad for Brando and bad for Caracelli, or is it?
I don't think it's going to cost them too much because obviously everyone's going to have to adhere to the safety car delta.
Oh yeah,
so they should be able to get round in time. It has benefited the second Ferrari of... has benefited the second Ferrari who has come out on the soft compound tyres of Angelo. So we'll have to wait and see where the other two feed out. But yes, it probably will work out, you have to say, for Brando and Caracelli because they're going to be a lot closer to the drivers they need to pass on fresher, softer tyres.
Yes, indeed. So drivers are pitting now. And this includes Tiago, Nardo, Zane, Heiko, Luca Rapassa, Jeslar, who's had his wing changed down in 17th now. Most on medium tyres don't think the softs are going to get to the end. Other drivers deciding to stay on the softs. But Brando and Caracelli will have to pit. I think they may be okay. And this may help them. Brando, of course, still in the lead. Caracelli also run up to second place. So unless this delta goes off, we should be okay. They have to pit this lap, though. They can't pit any other time.
Really fascinated to see not only where they come out, but what the drivers around them do. Will we see these guys that are on the mediums box for another set of soft tyres? Do they have another brand new set of soft tyres that they can chuck on? The strategy has very much been thrown up into the air. And yeah, it's going to be times like this where you've got to be sharp with your decision making.
Absolutely. Now, just mentioning, we are going to the pit stops now. They have got to the pit before the deltas come off, so Lifeboat is going to be thinking, oh dear, they've pit, and he's going to rocket through these corners. No, he's coming as well. Asim is coming in. Sam, yeah, they're all going to be coming in.
Soft tyres for everyone, you would
They're going to
imagine.
drop down now.
Angelo should get these places back. Might come out in third, where the Ferrari was before they came in to the stops. We'll have to wait and see. I think it will be third for the second Ferrari.
Angelo has now staying in third because of everyone else pitting. Lifeboat will be in fourth. The closest driver to that is Nico, and he's coming through right now, but he's not going to be gaining many more positions now, down in ninth. So it is going to be Brando Caracelli and Angelo in pretty even bout this one. This could be anyone's now.
Angelo is at a disadvantage with one lap older tyres. We have to bear that in mind. So I'd be surprised if the second Ferrari manages to get through. But yeah, Brando's had the pace over everybody else so far. You would expect that to continue in this sprint to the finish. But while we are under the safety car, we have to remind everyone of the wonderful sponsors, GT Omega. If you go over there and use the code PSGL, you would get yourself a 5% discount, and also partnered with SRC Sim Racing Centre. Go over there and use the same code PSGL for a 10% discount at checkout for any setup or coaching needs.
Yes, indeed. By the way, just keep an eye on Nico. He is on medium tyres. Not sure if he's going to make a run up the order, but when those softs run out of steam, you'll start to think, will these mediums start to come back?
Well, we saw the crossover point was what? Lap 5 or 6 maybe, where the mediums really started to have an advantage over the soft. So that takes you up towards lap 20, lap 21. So it could be a really late charge for Nico, if of course the Sauber driver can hold on to track position.
Absolutely. So we're just about to come through, and I think we should be going, I don't think we'll be going this lap, it should be the next lap. So we'll have 7 laps of racing as we head towards the climax of the second race of 11. Next week, we're going to be in Monaco, so watch out, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Carnage as well, you would probably imagine.
And at night, I've been told in my ear.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
With floodlights, though, so we're not actually racing in the night. In the night garden. I loved that as a kid.
It is still a beautiful track at night, even with the spotlights on.
Oh, yes. It would be funny.
Are you getting a little bit of a sense of deja vu from last week? We had a fairly late safety car.
Oh,
and that safety car, as the saying goes, breeds other safety cars. We saw, 3 late safety cars last week in Australia? This is our first one. Are we going to see a few more as the pack gets bunched up?
Well, logically, I think there'll only be 2 safety cars now at most. So the next one will probably be the last one, because I think they should only come out 4 laps before the end. And as you can see, yes, that grandstand is not updated. It's being replaced by a much bigger, better grandstand. But unfortunately, that house is gone. That's very sad.
That is a shame. Just some people sitting on a hill. Nothing to see there.
Exactly. And of course, the motorcycle portion of the track is not there either, because of course it is on the Austria one and the Spain one, I believe, but not on this game. Not on this track. Which I'm surprised.
Yeah, I think you're correct with that one.
Should be added for the next game, I hope. You'd imagine it would be.
You would think so, yeah. Penalties. I think we should have a little bit of a rundown of what people have got to deal with. The big one, of course, is Azam, currently in 5th with a 3-second penalty. Those are the only penalties that have been dished out so far. Thiago, Rafael and Nardu, currently 10th, 11th and 12th with 3 seconds, alongside Owen, Ripasa and then Jeslar in 14th, 15th and 17th, respectively. So no major penalties so far, no 6, 9 or even 12 seconds to contend with, but it is going to make a difference to the final running order. And, of course, we could have some post-race penalties added as well.
We could indeed. So we should expect the safety car to come in any time soon. There.
Perfectly
Lights off. Oh, it's magic. Anyway, here we go. Brando has it all to do. He's got several drivers beavering down his gearbox. in that scarlet, red, black and white Ferrari. All he has to do is keep it up top, and he will be tonight's winner. Brando got Caracelli and his teammate Angelo there as well, so it's going to be an explosive ending to this race, hopefully for me and you, the viewers at home. But when is Brando going to go? Oh my goodness, he's bunching him up tight. That's almost an illegal move from Caracelli. He's gone. He's going for it. He's dropped the throttle and down he goes into bus stop. He will have the lead of this race for now. Caracelli and Angelo, oh, they're well behind. 7 tenths and maybe 8 coming through the line. 7 laps to go here at Spa-Francorchamps. Through we go, Lecom. And is there going to be a chance for move making? And it should be for Angelo. Angelo has the speed. He has the essence. Does he have the guts to make the move into second place? Caracelli feeling very vulnerable and nowhere near Brando. Now it's going to be Angelo's chance to pounce and take second place away like candy from a baby. Coming down, there's no DRS. Caracelli playing defense and stays in second place. Nice defensive move from Caracelli. Angelo just waiting patiently, but now they're 1 second behind. Brando starting to run away. Angelo, even with that tyres, still right next to Caracelli. Caracelli on the same age of tyres as Brando, and this is not working out well at all for Caracelli. Angelo, life out, not getting anywhere, as in neither. They're all not making much moves here. That's Ian. Oh!
Lifeboat straight on at Pouon.
Oh no! Lifeboat off the track and now down to 15th. A terrible day if you are ETA and Haas. Right down the order we go and down to 16th place. And surely that's their chances of winning gone.
Absolutely falling to pieces, the two Haas cars, 13th and 16th now, probably won't get a lot better. Brando on the restart tried to help out the sister Ferrari, caught Caracelli unawares, and Angelo was right on the back of the Mercedes, but didn't have the straight line speed to pull alongside, surprisingly enough.
Look at the back, there's a massive four-way battle for the last points positions. That's Thiago, and right there, Raphael and Zane. Raphael and Zane battling for 10th, the last point position. Raphael loses out, and now the other Red Bull of Nardo trying to get inside Atlas Source for the 11th position and try and get close to the points, but still side by side, coming out of the corner, and Raphael holds on, but he's a long way back from Zane and Thiago. Zane with a shot at 9th place, coming up through Rouge and Radion, coming down the Kettle Straight, no DRS, he doesn't need it, he's going to pass into 9th place, but Raphael's there as well, he's got to be careful, coming into the corner, they're very close there, and that's Nardo nearly going in the back of Raphael. Raphael hangs on, and Thiago still there in 10th place. And that's Tycho got a penalty. That's not going to be good, but his teammates also got one too. But they've all got penalties. If you see here, 3 seconds of penalties, so there's nothing much going to change. I think Kaya might get into the point, as now Nardo and Raphael go side by side again.
Nearly shoved into the wall there, the Red Bull of Nardo.
And Raphael has spun around. There's not going to be a repeat from Apophien. And this is horrible for... What was that? Horrible for the Aston Martins have fallen down to 16th and 18th respectively. Kaya is going right up the order. It's a sun run from him. Last points being position net nil. No, not yet. Actually, he may just miss out. Unless there's a yellow flag at Raphael round again. A safety car again! Safety car again! Now, he's lost his wing, that's why. Another safety car, and the top 3 at the top. No, are they in?
Fraser on their own at the moment. Everybody else has come straight into the pits. I think Owen might have stayed out as well, maybe. Yes, so 2 drivers stayed out so far.
Guys, it's not showing who's pit on my... Oh, right now it has. Fraser stayed out. Ian stayed out. Kaya stayed out. So right now, it's an AlphaTauri 1-2. What's happening?
Well. Late drama. We saw the contact that first sent Raphael into a spin going into Pouon and then dropped it again coming out of turn number 17, and that is the third retirement of the session. And it throws quite a few spanners in the works because Brando was looking comfortable out in front, but has now got to make a couple of overtakes if they're going to take the victory.
Yes, but knowing him, he has been absolutely fantastic on new compounds. So definitely don't count him out. Cheslar stayed out and he's on medium tyres. And against these new softs, near the end of the race, they'll be in their prime by the end of the race. This is perhaps fatal. He's going to be a sitting duck for Caracelli Lorenzino. This kind of reminds me of, sorry to mention it, Lewis Hamilton fans, Abu Dhabi 21, where, well, you know what happened. We're not going to go back to that. But I still think Max Verstappen deserved the championship that year. Never mind. Anyway, away from that, Fraser is now leading the race. Ian is in second, but he has a 3-second penalty. Azam is down in 10th. And he's not pit. What's happened to Azam?
Yeah.
What is he even there?
Well, I thought the Mercedes did come into the pits, but maybe put on a used set of soft tyres, probably the set that Azam started the race on. So disastrous stuff if that is the case. You'd expect him to get absolutely swallowed up on this restart. The same, of course, with Jesler on the mediums. That is, I think he's going to fall through the field pretty sharpishly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if these drivers are staying out at the top, but I imagine they might. Because, you know, the risk and reward and there's points to be won, but then again, no one else is pitting. I think Azam will pit, but his chances of winning the race are gone. Now, are they pitting? No, they're not, and that's probably the wise decision to do because, you know, they're in the lead. Azam has pit. Jeslar has not, so that's interesting, but Azam's going to go down the order and go right to the back of the grid.
Yeah. An interesting call. Obviously didn't select the right tyre compounds. That's the only explanation we can have is medium. So yeah, doesn't have a fresh set of soft tyres left. So this is going to be a fatal error. And 17th, you'd imagine, Azam's probably either going to stay right at the back of the pack or could get caught up in some skirmishes trying to fight his way through.
Yeah, but he might still get points because, of course, Thiago, Nardo, Tycho and Rapasa have 3-second penalties. Actually, no, sorry, I take that back. Azam also has a penalty.
Oh, dear.
Sorry, I spoke too soon, Azam. I don't know who's going to win this race. Fraser has experience at the top. But, of course, he was 13th last time, but got promoted to second after those penalties were removed. This is going to be a crucial 3 lap. There are going to be 3 laps, I'm sure about it, to the end of this race. And my word, there's going to be DRS on the last lap. That might be the deal breaker for some of these drivers in the field, especially Jeslar, especially the top 3. Kaya probably can't believe his luck. Jump started, served the penalty, and is now on the chance of winning this race.
That might be the craziest revenge arc you could ever witness.
I mean, Jenson Button did something similar in real life. He was well down the field, got a drive-through penalty for colliding with Lewis Hamilton, and he got lucky in the final lap. He overtook Vettel, but he still hung in there. So he had to work his way up the grid before that could happen. And no one even had him to win the race when the red flag came out as safety car coming in this lap. And he still won after a 4-hour marathon. And look, Fraser's just absolutely holding them up. He is taking no chances on the restart here. And he's got Ian and Kaya behind. Where else but PSGL do you see an AlphaTauri and a Haas heading the field?
These guys are going to be under immense pressure on the restart, and we're going to have to wait and see whether Brando Caracelli, Angelo Lorenzino can fight their way back through onto the podium in the remaining 3 laps. Remember, if you use code PSGL at checkout at GT Omega, 5% off, and the same code at SRC, 10% off. That will give you all the links are in the description. But we are getting ready to go here for what will be the final restart of the race. And Fraser, taking his time, is going to go very, very late.
Maybe too much time. He might go at the line here, which is perfectly legal. Coming into the bus stop, I probably do it at bus stop. You've got the best chance. Is he going to go at
Now.
bus stop?
We have gone. Oh no, we haven't. I thought he'd gone. He's waiting all the way up to the start-finish line.
3 laps to go. Here we go. Lorenzinho and Caracelli battling for 6th position already. Coming into the first corner. There's some collisions come behind. That's Angelo getting past Caracelli. Now Caracelli's off the track. Caracelli loses the long position. He's lost his wing. His wing is gone. And that's his chance of winning this race. All gone and lost. Now, Ewan coming behind, coming for the move. This is for the lead. He has a 3-second penalty. He doesn't worry about that. He hopes everything goes out of place as that is Brando trying again to Kaya. He has the freshest tires coming into the corner. The collision between Kaya and Brando. And they're coming out again. Kaya loses position, but he's still in the top 3 for now because Ewan has that penalty. Fraser in 2nd place, Brando in 3rd, Kaya 4th, Zane and Seb fighting for 8th position, coming through. They're no name now. It's absolutely kicking off here, and that's Lorenzinho getting past Jesler, who's sitting up, but no, he hasn't, not quite. Coming through, Pruon now. They all come through. That is Angelo right there behind them too. He's going to get involved in this melee as well. And that's going to be a move on Lorenzinho by Jesler. Lorenzinho gets through, but here comes that Brando up to 2nd already. I think the strategy's worked. Brando, despite everything that's been thrown at him, is going to try and come back. He's now in the net leads.
Has to be careful though, because as we saw going through Stabilo, ran wide over the white lines and should have picked up a warning there. The 2 AlphaTauris are going into combat behind Kai, trying to find a way through.
Oh my word!
He's going to go around the outside of Owen into the final corner of the bus stop chicane. Not given a lot of space on the outside, but manages to muscle that Ferrari through. And look at the AlphaTauris trying to get involved as well.
They're all going for it now. A 4-way melee for the lead into the bus stop. And now the AlphaTauris are coming all together. This is a dangerous move. 3 wide into La Source. And the 2 AlphaTauris are through. No, not quite. Ewan's trying to fight back on Fraser. Fraser loses position again. Coming through. Brando is absolutely running away. But now surely that safety car is actually a gift, truth be told. Now Kaya and Fraser will be battling. They're colliding with Ian, who has a 3-second penalty. 3 wide. Down towards Lake Hom, into the filter, and it is going to be Fraser. No, he's still fighting Ewan, coming out of the corner, pushed off the track. Kaya's losing positions as well. Oh God!
Fraser getting that little shove for his troubles. Owen back up into 2nd place temporarily, of course, with that penalty. Kaya falling down into 6th, like you mentioned now, as Zane and Semi on the back of the AlphaTauri. Can Lorenzinho maybe get up into 2nd place as Angelo goes a little bit wide into Poon? And look at the Sauber all over the back of that lead AlphaTauri car, who in turn is all over the back of Owen as they go up into the Fanier chicane.
So it's currently Brando, Fraser, Lorenzinho, your top 3. Ewan has fallen well down. Brando is 2 seconds ahead. He cannot be stopped, surely, unless he stops himself. That is, it's all a battle for who's 2nd best now. Fraser going right behind Ewan. Ewan has just been there holding him up. I don't know what's going on. He's been doing absolutely nothing. He's got a 3-second penalty. Surely, oh, he's hit him. He's hit Fraser. He's hit Ewan. Coming to the corner. Lorenzinho on the inside. Coming through. They're almost colliding with each other as the DRS will be enabled as final lap.
This is the ultimate test of multitasking, isn't it? Attacking straight to defending. Lorenzinho sending up the inside. The Haas goes wide, taps the rear wheel of the AlphaTauri. Ghosting is on as Angelo goes straight through the Sauber up into 4th, and is now probably favourite to get 2nd place.
And now Angelo is right behind Ewan and Fraser. Fraser's surely going to be overtaken. They're going to go 3 wide again down the Kettle Straight. And surely now Lorenzinho's going to try and make it 4 wide as well. Down goes Fraser into 5th. Angelo then come into the corner. Lorenzinho down the inside. He goes straight off the track. And Angelo coming out behind. With Ewan is messing at the Sauber is round. Sauber is round. A disaster for Lorenzinho, falling down the order, and now Angelo is going to make a TRT Ferrari 1-2.
Fraser was probably the smartest. Fraser was the smartest backing out of that going into Lake Hom, but goes really wide into Pool, and that opens Zane up for an opportunity.
And Zane is going to be fighting for the podium here. Who would have thought of this? It might be a TRT sweep.
We're going to have to wait and see how the slipstream and the ERS usage works. Fraser goes wide through Stabilo. Is not going to get a lot of slipstream from the cars in front. Angela's going to try and pass Owen to get second place on the road. But here comes the Red Bull passing the Alpha Tauri. They're going to go side by side through Blanchemont and up towards the bus stop.
Here they come! They're colliding free wide! I can't cut to Brando yet!
Look who else is in there, an Aston Martin and an Alpine!
Oh no! Coming through! It's going to be Brando that wins! Sorry not to show it! Angela's going to be second and Zane! Zane's done it! Unbelievable! It's a TRT! 1, 2, 3!
Fraser, the big loser, dropping down to what was 6th, promoted to 5th with Owen's penalty. The Haas falling down to 6th in the end. Kaya ending up 7th, held on to a couple of places late on. Nico, Rapassa and Nadu complete the top 10 as in recovered, but it's only 11th place. But it is Ferrari 1 and 2.
I'm surprised I survived that. Brando, sorry to cut away. We couldn't show it. He was well ahead of the field in that end game, but we had to show that massive collision of man and machine coming through the bus stop. It was anyone's, but TRT has swept the podium. A first, a second, and a third. It's going to be a long night of partying for the TRT boys, and hopefully they'll enjoy that. It's a Ferrari 1-2. And of course, Zane somehow getting on that podium as well. Let's show the results. Look at that! 17th to 3rd. What a stun run from Zane. Driver of the day for me, I have to say. Fighting back super low. 9th to 2nd for Angelo. Brilliant tactical play from TRT. They deserve that podium. Kaya goes from 18th to 7th. Could have been higher, but he does very well to end his way there. Nardo coming from the back of the grid to 10th, the back row, I should say. The biggest loser here, Azam fails to finish in the points.
About as well, finished only 15th.
Yeah, 16th for Lorenzinho. So, unless your name is Brando, bad for the top 3 that started. Caracelli finishing in 17th. 2 McLarens failing to finish in NLR as well. Raphael failing to finish. So, wow. Wow. Brando, of course, running away from it at the end. Yeah, drama. He also gets the fastest lap, an extra point. 141.799, and I think that was the final stint of soft tyres that helped him there.
A clean sweep, pole position, fastest lap, and the race victory. Dominance personified.
Dominance personified, indeed. Sorry, guys. Trying to get over the mental madness that just happened in front of our very eyes.
Brilliant race. We saw a lot of action last week in Australia and Spa, as it usually does deliver a banger once again, and it has been a pleasure to commentate on. It was good fun.
It was good fun indeed. So I do want to say thank you all for watching. I know it was quite hectic at times, but that's racing for you in a nutshell, with all due respect. I want to say thank you to my other half, T-Dub, for giving it all.
Thank you very much. And it was, good commentary from yourself as well.
Thank you very much. Well, as you know, we are in Monte Carlo next week, where 30% of the country are millionaires. I wish I was one of them. Home to most of the F1 drivers, but also home to the absolutely mythical Monaco Grand Prix. That is, I believe, next week. Yeah, no breaks this year. Next week, it's the 4th of March. I forget. It's a blooming leap year, isn't it? So there's the 29th. And the 30th, no, just kidding, there's no 30th of February. No. I'd love to have a 30th of February, in all honesty. It would probably be nice.
What a joke. What a joke of a day it would be. Remember, everyone, as well, we've said it a few times, but if you want to check out GT Omega, their link is in the description. Use the code PSGL, and you'll get 5% off all of their products. And the same with Sim Racing Centre. Use the same code PSGL at checkout, and you'll get 10% off. Those links are, of course, in the description.
Yeah, please use those Please use those discount codes unless you like wasting your money or getting ripped off. We'll be back in Monaco next week for the legendary Monaco Grand Prix on a smaller scale, but more exciting, I have to say. You better tune in. It's same time, same place, 8 o'clock, 4th of March, Monday. You do not want to miss it. I've been Otaku Logan, he's been T-Dub, and I bid you all a very good night, and race on, y'all.